Hey guys, what's up? This is Curtis Pike. My friends call me Big C. I'm with TGN Games, guys, and today we're doing some guest commentary. Yeah, this is part 2, and we are featuring Poggy. Poggy the Priest. Yeah, that's a weird name, but don't worry about it. He's an even weirder dude, but he's a good guy. So, anyways, guys, Poggy's going to do some commentary here. It's a short video, so I'm going to preface it with a little bit of stand-up comedy by Big C. And, I don't know, guys, I'm an amateur comedian, so please take it easy on me. But all joking aside, guys, enjoy the video. I really like it when you guys leave comments, feedback, ways that we can improve, because that's the goal, guys. We have a lot of fun, and we're trying to get better, and we're making our videos better. Our commentators are improving, and yeah, it's just an awesome process, guys. So anyways, I'm Big C. Enjoy the video. Please leave your comments and feedback, and I'll be back soon. Cheers.
My friends and family are here. I actually haven't seen all my friends and family since my last intervention. What's up? Here we go! So anyways, I'll change topics. So I went to Disneyland recently with my family, and we had a lot of fun. And it's kind of like getting circumcised. And I kind of forgot my fucking joke. Let's do this. Okay, so has anybody here been zip trekking by chance? Alright, that's where they push you off a cliff. Zip trekking, to me, is a lot like having sex with a really ugly chick. It's kind of fun, just try not to look down. Sorry, I turned the lights off and I was like, fuck you. Ugly in the dark, it's nasty.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Poggy the Priest coming at you once again with another episode of All About Priests. And today I wanted to go over the talent trees for the Discipline spec. I will go over the Holy spec in the next video. I'm not going to make this too long and dreary. I just want to kind of briefly go over it. What I've noticed is that some people will take talent trees off of, say, MMO Champion or Wowhead or what have you, without really understanding what they're actually speccing and why. And I always find it interesting to see that, because then you miss out on valuable information that can be useful to you in raids, dungeons, etc. So it is nice to know, why are you speccing this? What does this do? What does that do? And, let's not miss out on anything. Let's try to make sure that we get everything that we can, get all the information that we can to understand our character the most. And really, the more you understand what their spells do, etc., the better you'll be at playing them. And I hope that makes sense. We're going to open up with our Power Word Shield, Improved Power Word Shield. Of course we want that, because being a Discipline Priest, for the most part, is all about preventing damage, not really healing as much, although you do a lot of healing either way. But preventing as much damage as possible is always a good thing, and that's kind of what a Discipline Priest is all about. Really the basics here, we just kind of fill up the top tier with damage and healing increased by 6%, and reduce mana cost of our instant spells. Now again, this build that I have is based on mana conservation. It's all about conserving your mana as best as you can. And so anything that says mana cost reduced, you kind of want to go with that. Anything that says increased mana regen, you want to go with that as well. Down on the second tier in the Discipline spec, you'll find the Soul Warding, which reduces the cooldown of your Power Word Shield by 2 seconds. And of course we filled that up because, again, being a Discipline Priest is all about preventing damage, and of course, your Power Word Shield is really good at that. Now, this one I was actually thinking of changing to something else, because, quite frankly, I don't see the point of it. Especially since I don't really use Inner Fire, I use Inner Will for both of my builds, because it does reduce the mana cost, and of course, I'm all about the mana in these builds. Then on the third tier, we have our Renewed Hope, which increases our critical chance of our heals. We also have our Power Infusion, which of course we talked about in the last video, which we use a lot during bosses. Usually when you get low on mana, you want to go ahead and just cast Power Infusion on yourself to allow yourself to do faster spellcasting, as well as increasing or reducing mana cost. Here we come to Atonement. I didn't spec Atonement because, again, I'm not really all about doing damage while I'm trying to concentrate on healing. Though you will find some Discipline Priests who are able to focus on both. I really have a problem with concentrating on multiple things, like trying to target enemies, hit them, and then heal people at the same time. Next up, of course, we also talked about this in the last video, Inner Focus. Reduce the mana cost of your Flash Heal, Binding Heal, or Greater Heal, and it increases the critical chance by 25%. So once again, definitely want that inner focus because it is going to give you one free heal, and those flash heals and greater heals have gotten really expensive. Next, let's go on to the reflective shield down to the next tier. This causes 22% of the damage you absorb with Power Word Shield to reflect back to the attacker. If you did actually fill that up, it would give you 45% damage. However, I only spec this because I really had nothing left to spec. This was just like an extra point at the end of my point stash, so I just kind of threw it in there because why not have a little bit of damage also while you have your Power Word Shield. Since we will be using it a lot, it is probably worth it to at least do a little bit of damage. Borrowed time. Haste is very important for priests, however, I find that I'm not actually stacking haste, but as much as I can get for free through my talents, why not? And again, since we're using Power Word Shield a lot, you are going to have a lot of extra spell haste just from doing that. And again, that happens every time you cast Power Word Shield. It doesn't matter who you cast it on or where it's casted, it's always going to give you some borrowed time. Rapture we talked about in the last video as well. When your Power Word Shield is completely absorbed or dispelled, you do gain 2.5% of your total mana back. However, it's still it's such a great thing to have because, once again, we are going to be using Power Word Shield a lot. And I know I've said that like 5 times, but seriously, it's a big discipline spec thing. It's something that we use a lot in discipline spec. Next is Pain Suppression. I mentioned that also in the last video. Pain Suppression is really great for boss fights. It definitely does prevent a lot of damage, and it gives you just enough time to be able to throw Penance, or possibly a Renew, or a Prayer of Mending at your target. Next is Divine Aegis. Critical heals and all heals from Prayer of Healing create a protective shield on the target, absorbing 30% of the amount healed. Last 12 seconds. Priests, especially disciplined priests, are all about preventing damage, not so much healing damage. So you'll see that maybe you're only doing 6k heals per second, but nobody's really taking a lot of damage because, well, you're pretty much preventing as much of it as you can. And last up, I talked about this in the last video as well, Power Word Barrier. You of course want to get your Power Word Barrier because it will be preventing a lot of damage. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about on today's episode of All About Priests. If you have any questions, I encourage you to go to the forums. The link is in the crotch bar. This has been Poggy with TGN Gaming. Please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe.